Thursday event.
Okay, well, you had something that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I saw it. You pulled it up, and it's exactly what I was thinking. FEMA may run out of funds. FEMA's funding issues may prompt Congress to return from recess early to address hurricane recovery funding.
They should have never went on recess for something like this, should they?
No, not during the crisis. I mean, it just goes to show you we got an incompetent president who is lame duck. He knows he's on his way out. He's already forfeited being the president. And then we have a House and Senate.
They're going to go on recess
Yeah,
during a hurricane and a longshoreman strike or dock worker strike.
Yeah,
Going to just take off when the world's falling down around them, but they're going to take off.
Well, it's really pressing, though, I guess, Steve, because I guess a lot of these congressmen, senators haven't seen their mistresses in a long time. That's what it is.
But they're more concerned about Smith releasing.
Yeah.
Smith's the unsealing of documents, the hearsay that Trump was going to take over the world or something like that. The media is going crazy on January 6th, like it's so important.
You know what? I wish he was at. The only thing I regret about this whole scenario that he wasn't competent enough to carry it out. Okay, because quite frankly, I'm seeing you guys are doing. You're pulling crap out of thin air. That's what I'm saying. I don't see. Here's the evidence. I mean, that's what it means. It's dismissible. Okay.
Are they going to find this Jack Smith like in a white jacket pulling him out of the room going, but Trump did it. But Trump did it. I think that's going to happen.
He did JFK too. He did JFK. You know.
I don't know.
I swear to God, you are going to see that Jack Smith walking out from going, but I know Trump did it. I know he did. I know he did it.
I mean, you just threw a whole bunch of stuff at the wall and nothing stuck.
Yeah, I know. I've heard one time he ripped the tag off of his pillow one time. We got to get him for that. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
He kissed a girl one time. I know he did. I know he kissed.
But the thing about it,
it's
like I said, the world's falling apart, and our royalty is going to have their vacation disrupted by the small people.
Yeah, well, guess what?
Okay, wait a second. One of the funny things is that I actually saw Kamala Harris get out there in front of the FEMA thing yesterday and talk to people and say, "Hey, we are going to give everybody
I think it's $700,
$750.
$750, but you have to prove it that you need.
You have to prove that you were in the middle of a hurricane.
Okay, but people coming across the border can get umpteen thousands of dollars handed to them.
But that was the other part of it too. She was also sitting there saying about how much money in the same conference about how the money went to Ukraine.
Yeah.
So if you're an undocumented or illegal person in the area of the hurricane, so you can get the bennies you were already going to get plus $750.
Wow, man. Well, I think here's
just walking from there.
Here's a plan we should do though. Everybody should actually see if we can petition Ukraine to be considered annexed by them. So now we can get help from our own freaking government.
You think so?
To be annexed? Yeah, we'll become an annex of west of Ukraine. So now we can get our government to care about us.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we call North Carolina some part of Ukraine?
That's what
they might be able to do that.
Facebook, yeah, they had it on the map. This area is now called Ukraine, you know? Yeah, I mean, pull in the money now for everybody. Give it to our own people, okay? I don't care if somebody is rich who is affected by this. Guess what? It's so what? This is ridiculous. We care more about other people in other countries than we do our own people. And I think that's so stupid. There's no point to that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's a part I wanted to say, and my brain went to the thought is I don't understand this. Why are we letting people come in this country, and we are sending to our country people?
We're not.
Yeah.
We're not.
Why are those guys in DC letting the guys come across the border? They don't give a crap. But hey, well, let's do one spy.
Because think about it. What they're doing is depositing these people in all the red states to try to make them blue.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They're like planting seeds for a couple years.
You're from Ghana? Come here.
But it backfires on them. Like in Florida, when they tried, putting all this, they turned into Republicans.
Well, I know this. I know for years the Cubans have always been connected to the Republican Party. Especially right after the time of the fiasco of Bay of Pigs, and they came over after Castro took over. They were solidly in the camp of the Republicans for
remember
3 generations.
But that wasn't what the Democrats were trying to do at the time. They were just coming over. The boat people, remember?
I mean, the aerial boat lift from during the Carter era. No, I believe he was truly. I think he was already engineering that kind of, new voter base. That's what I don't think Trump, I mean, not Trump, Carter's always this benevolent person that people want to depict him as. I really don't. I never.
The guy
Carter,
who turned down the heat and put on a sweater. Remember that?
Yeah, he put on a sweater. I mean,
60 was it 65 or 68?
He put on 60. Well, it must have been because he's from Georgia, so it might have been it might have been terrible winter in Washington D.C. compared to what he had in Georgia. But I'm sure he suffered some privation. But
remember
Jimmy Carter?
I never thought that much about the guy.
They wanted everybody to turn down the heat and put on sweaters because everything. No, because I don't know how much you remember about that time.
It was a mess. It was a mess.
Everything was really.
Yeah,
everything went up.
Actually,
gas, everything.
What's worse now though, because I mean we weren't hit with these hurricanes are getting more intense. And
well, actually, there's been a study that they're fewer and far between now.
But it seems like they more. Maybe it just makes
it's the way. They
get one good hurricane. You get one hurricane.
But
you get one hurricane a year or something.
But they didn't report. They reported it. But they didn't
minute by minute.
They didn't do 24 hours of hurricane back when we were kids. You watched the news from 6 to 6:30,
and that was it.
Yeah, now it's like the news cycle is continuous. I mean,
you didn't have a guy out there holding a pole. A lot of people were walking.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's saying how deep the water is, and the guy walks and waves behind him
with a pizza.
Or I like that one. Don't go swimming, and then she gets bashed by a sign. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, that had to be.
It's horrible.
Oh, that
smack.
But it was amazing. It took them how many days? When did the hurricane come to shore? Friday last week.
I know. And the funny part about
it, they just hit there today.
Just like snow when it hits Michigan the first time. They always act like it's the first time it's happening when it's happening. That's the way they report it. Like there's never been a hurricane. Like no, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the media reports it like it's never happened before.
Yeah,
like they've never seen.
Sorry.
I'm trying to say that the media reports it like it's the first time.
Right. Yeah.
It's like everybody should be in fear.
It's like
if you don't, if the media doesn't give you in fear, there's nothing that they get paid for. They only get paid to make you fear of everything. If you're scared of a different person of a different color, if you're scared of this, if you're scared of that, if you're scared of Donald Trump, red man, orange man bad, or if you're scared of this, if you're scared of anything, that's the only way they get paid. They don't get paid for anything else. Congress, all they get paid for is sleeping around, screwing up our lives, and sending money over to other countries and telling our people, "Hey, it comes out of your paycheck. Don't worry."
And getting kickbacks.
Yeah, getting kicked. That's it.
Legal kickbacks.
And sending the military and saying we believe in our we believe in the military, and they send us out like dogs. That's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe in the military, I think you should. I think there's a resource, and humans are the best resource, the most important resource. And no, we're nonchalant. Our leaders are nonchalant about throwing their lives away on any kind of dispute anywhere on the planet.
Oh, it was funny because one of the things I did hear about that Jack Smith thing that you brought up was that somebody said that Trump said something about, if he dies or something. And I guess he said to the guys, his kids out of Marine One, you know what? If we want to lose, he's got to fight it to the.
I don't understand. Who said if he dies, he dies? Jack Smith or Donald Trump?
Donald Trump was supposed to have said about Mike Pence. If he dies, he dies. That's not Donald Trump. It's just, I mean,
why would he say that?
He wouldn't say that.
I don't think he would have. No.
It's just if you heard the guy down the street.
No,
say something,
but everything that was released was hearsay.
Right.
There's no evidence.
Why was it even released? Because they're supposed
to cover up for, in my opinion, to cover up for the great debate. But it's vice presidential debate, so what big deal?
Well, it's vice presidential debate, but when you have Tim Conway show up for vice president.
I heard, of course, this is no big deal, but I mean, I think it's interesting that they claim that Tim Walz's family, I guess, in some other part of the country, doesn't like his policies and is voting solidly for Trump. You know, a whole partial.
His whole family.
Yeah, Trump actually met with them.
Yeah, just like, of course, but then again, you had some Trump people who, Trump's family members that are also against Donald Trump. But I mean,
I bet you probably have family members who for Harris.
Oh yeah, I do.
And friends.
My own grandfather, my mom's dad, was a socialist, and that's the reason why I can't stand socialism. I never liked him all that much.
But I mean, does it make him any less of a candidate just because his family are Republican and he's Democrat? No.
I'll be honest with you. If I ran for president, I can guarantee you, my one brother, he'd be voting with the guy against me in a heartbeat.
I would too.
Yeah, you'd be safer too.
I'm being honest.
No, I just
No, I'm being honest too.
no, I think politics does divide people. And you know what? I think I don't think I think it's
Would you really
unavoidable.
vote against me?
Yeah.
just for being contrarian.
He would do it just for a heck.
Yeah, just for contrarian. Yeah,
I would.
And he put the poll right in front.
No, it's just like, well, I think a lot of, I had a friend like that was interested in politics and his own family turned against him. I mean, and they were actually on board for everything he stood for.
But can
they
you
just wouldn't want him
imagine?
in office? You know?
Could you imagine being that vehement and that crazy that, like we talked before, if Trump loses, it'll be like 1 or 2 days that you're not going to be that happy. But after that, you'll be fine.
No,
But you'll have.
I mean,
4 good
maybe
years
the
of-
world won't be fine, but what I'm saying is that's the
It's-
way I feel about it.
It's going to be an interesting 4 years if Trump loses.
I would like him to win, but if he doesn't, he doesn't, right?
we're not going to be screaming like that. When we were that one meme that
Oh,
one
that
screaming,
woman on her knees.
was-
Oh, where
yeah.
she was crying.
But
and
you
that
stuff.
know,
was a woman?
but what I wish he would do if he does win is not have that crap. Just go in and have a private ceremony, swear in, and do what you got to do.
Yeah, that's like,
Why even? Why even have that?
He's been to the rodeo once already, so what make a big deal about the second time? That's why I look at this
Yeah.
kid.
Why even waste all that money in the lockdown of the city?
Yeah,
And it's just giving them a chance to do some stupid stuff.
It's more pomp and circumstance for all the other guys.
Well,
And you know what? He can do
for
that.
what?
No, it was for them.
Well,
But what
let
he
them,
could do,
let them do it.
let him go in, say, you know what, swear in. Go into all he has to do is go into the Oval Office, get sworn in, and go in and be done.
It's not for. Well, it's
It's the only thing is the one thing they did was
okay. Then let Biden do it by himself, and nobody will show up.
Biden.
And then what he should do is do it on the 4th of July at the base of Mount Rushmore.
Who, Trump?
If he wants to have a get together with people that want to be around
Right.
him, wait until then to celebrate.
Yeah, I don't see
But
it.
do what he's got to do when he comes in.
It would be funny if Trump went in, swore in, and got to work that day and forget all those stupid
That would be perfect.
That'd be perfect because
Get all those stupid people go to work.
he already had the rodeo. I mean, like I said, he already had the bells and whistles the first time. Okay, go back to work. I mean, you shouldn't have been interrupted, in my opinion.
And they're going to lie about it anyways, because I mean, how many times he didn't have that many people? How dare he? How dare he compare himself to Martin Luther King? Because remember they showed them all with Martin Luther King, and they showed with Trump.
Who cares?
They tried to downplay everything. He didn't have that many people.
How did you know? Did you?
I don't know, but why not? Like I said, do it somewhere central where everybody can be, and wait till summertime.
Screw the Washington set. I mean, another thing is, I think there should be a serious
celebrate with his people.
Well, another thing is, I think, sir, you and I talked about this. Bringing this country spread out so much, we should bring the national capital into the center of the country more than it is
like Ohio,
instead of being in the East Coast. Put it
yeah, why? Why does it need to be there?
Because it's like. Could you imagine? You break up that monopoly. Of course, it won't take long for them to zoom in on that. You know, the hanger-on.
Well, they'd ruin another state.
That's what they would with the property values would go up real high, and people who live there for a long time probably would be displaced. But now, there's another thing is we talked about this. They have the means to actually not to have to be in DC, and I think that's the best way because it gets them less corrupt. We keep them home so we can keep an eye on them. Make sure we have a monitor on them when they're in the office, sitting at home. The congressmen, senators sit there in their home districts.
Well, no, because you find out that they
24/7.
don't need to be there. That they actually could be part time.
That's what
they don't need to be 24 hours a day, paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for nothing.
So nowadays, we got such technology, even with the storms and stuff like that. We got satellite technology. You'd want security, so you'd have to have satellite, so they can actually have the meetings. You know, like in a device, something in the form of Zoom or something like that. They don't have to be, and it'd be better, smarter if you got everybody against you, not to have everybody in place, all your eggs in one basket. Although I really wouldn't care if a few did get cracked, but I really don't.
And I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, keep them away from the.
All right, so let me ask you guys this question: don't you think it's a little bit illegal if those guys actually take one penny from or their family take a penny from a lobbyist firm?
Well, hell yes, it is.
Oh, but no, they not.
No, I'm asking you personally.
But the thing about it, they're the ones that are in control. I can't even talk control. They're in control. They make the laws for themselves.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in your personal opinion, I don't care everything else. I know all the other spots. In your opinion, Do you or do you not believe that it should be against the law if they meet
Of
with a
course it
lobbyist?
should. I mean, because you think about it. Okay, if you explain it to somebody that you and John have a vote, I'm a person. I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to pay you money. But I'm not. I'm giving you a whole bunch of money and explaining to you why this
Mhm.
is how I feel,
Mhm.
and then I sort of make it, you know,
Quid pro
known to
quo.
you that I'm going to give you some more money
As soon
if
as
you
you make
feel
it
the same way.
right.
Wouldn't that be like a bribe?
Very much as a bribe.
That's a bribe. It
But
is.
not to them. And
Then
matter of fact, the lobbyists write the law.
they write all the laws.
And
That's exactly why this one thing where the Supreme Court came up and said this. It was a few months ago where they came across and said, "No, the laws have to be this way. You write the law, you have to write that law exactly the way it is. So you can't. This the Chevron bills they passed.
Yeah.
So they can't just go ahead and do it. Lobbyists do write the laws. The
Well,
lobbyist firms write the laws. They go into them. They print them.
John Conyers said that alluded to that basically when they talked about the healthcare bill during the Obama administration. He said that somebody asked if he had read the bill. It's like over 2,000 pages. Then I read it like, well, if you didn't read it, you didn't write it. Then if you didn't read
you
it,
got to vote for the law
you
before
can-
you read
he's
it.
got
That was
to
Nancy.
pass it before you see it.
Yeah,
So
something like
That was Nancy Pelosi. You had to, and now at that point, everybody should have just stopped and said, "Okay,
That's not
this
a
is
grab back,
stupid."
Nancy. Okay, it's like, oh, let's see what we got in here. We'll just take a chance. Okay, I mean, no,
This
that's
is people's lives, and you actually said this. I mean, she said this on Congress floor. I'm like, "Are you stupid?" You know what?
Well, you
that
hear about
answer
Nancy
was-
Pelosi though? Actually, this is not a rumor. Through the General Accounting Office, they found for her office the charges for alcohol is
Mhm.
actually outstrips that for food and other expenses in her to her office.
Well, it's easy to pay a lot for alcohol.
Yeah, but I
have
mean-
you looked? I was.
Have you ever seen her walk?
Oh, maybe walk.
Have you ever seen her walk?
I'm sure she's all. I'm sure they got her all hyped up on drugs. Her and
Yeah.
Joe probably share from the same bottle.
Yeah, it's like
So-
but she's
No, I mean, so she can be cogent, so she can talk.
Nancy's got a liver about yay big, I think. Yeah, she's only got one liver to give for her country, isn't that? That's her only regret. That was
And she
fun to
likes
use
ice
that.
cream too. Remember that during
Oh my God,
during
COVID.
COVID when she pulled that drawer out and
Yeah.
she
The
had all
thousands of
that.
dollars of COVID.
It
I mean,
had
all
like
that
thousands
ice
of dollars
Ice cream.
of high end gourmet ice cream.
Yeah,
We
so
can't- all through COVID, we're suffering. We're together, and we are enjoying this ice cream.
it's like, yeah, but she'd probably ban us if we had ice cream. She'd probably say we don't want you to have the fat content. I can't stand these people. I can't. 'Cause
This is the problem. So the issue is, we know what the problem is. We know the problems are this. So why? How could you fix that part? You could fix.
Basically,
Bring
That's
them
the-
home.
Bring them home.
bring them home, and it's got that, or we just have a total systemic crash and everything wiped out, and then start build again. That's about the only. I'm not advocating that. I think we're heading that way.
Well, I
without
think we're
the
gonna go
deficit.
that way.
Well, it'd be
Yeah.
easy because the city of Flint still hasn't recovered
The
from
water crisis.
it's not the water crisis.
Stanley.
No, they took over their computer system. Remember?
Oh yeah,
And I don't even think they've got it back because you can't even pay your water bill online in the city of Flint.
I got to go down there, which is, and then you only
Really?
you got 20,
Yeah,
you got
they
20
took
windows
they
to
took
show
over the
up.
computers and they asked for money to give them back.
Yeah, and it's well,
They were hacked.
Actually, I overheard a person talk about they were coming back from Carolinas.
No,
No, I had a friend talking about coming back from the Carolinas, and they said, "You know what? We can never go back. We can never go to a cashless society." We're talking about that
No.
because honestly,
no, because they need cash right now because they can't go to an ATM. They can't do anything. If you didn't have money before, if you didn't think, I'm not going to say smart enough, but if you didn't have the forethought to go to an ATM to draw some money out,
You're
you
screwed.
could.
you're screwed.
You're screwed.
That's a good point because years ago, I have a friend that lives in Alabama. She works at a Walmart down there, and there was a tornado wiped out the small town. The woman from that small town came to this Walmart and she went to buy some stuff. She had her debit card, scanned it, didn't work because her bank was totally wiped off the map.
Mhm.
And everything, all this infrastructure for it was gone. So a guy behind her, he had a credit card. And he said it was like $300, $400 of items, necessary stuff. He said, put it on my card.
No.
And so, I mean, everybody's crying about this. She called me up and told me about this, but this whole small town was wiped out. But the thing is, see, everybody thinks that's going to be the technology's the way around to prevent in case something like this happens. Actually, it's more vulnerable.
It
This is
makes
far more
makes us
vulnerable.
more. Yeah.
And here's the other side. You can't do. You're not able to do if you have no electricity down there. How do you charge your electric vehicles?
Right. Oh, that's right. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like, I mean, besides, would you want to try to waddle out there and get electrical car
Okay,
started in the
let me
middle of
ask
a
you a
flood?
question.
No.
You drive around a lot.
Yep.
I bet you could count the EVs that you've seen on the highway today on one hand.
Zero.
Because they're not there. They're the
Well,
they have lobbyists too that try to make you think that everybody's driving an EV.
Well,
no, I
But
see.
I'm saying
Once in a great while, I'll see a DV, and the ugliest looking cars you ever see.
But what I'm saying is they're not out there like they say that
no,
they are.
well, no, see, the thing is, here's what they want to do is these lawmakers, they want to make a law to make you buy a product that, from a consumer end. Okay. The thing is, what propels sales is actually desirability of a product, not forced upon them by a government mandate.
Well, and what
You
always
know?
happens though, there's always a cap. And they once they make their money, they stop talking about it. Like the what is it? The batteries are made out of
Lithium.
lithium, right? When it reaches the height, when it can't go any higher and they can't make any more money, they're not going to be interested in EVs anymore.
No.
Right now, they've probably got stock in those companies.
All the Congress has to do is work on ways to keep America safe.
They need to work
and
on ways.
protected.
It's
They
not.
don't need to get into our
It's
freaking commerce.
we're backwards. We shouldn't be looking to Washington at the state of Michigan. We should be looking to our capital.
Yep.
That's where we're. No, I know we can't right now.
No,
in
but-
your opinion,
but I
that's
know what you're
where
saying.
everything should be.
Oh, yeah.
The state capitals, and then you decide.
Because you actually, at every capital, you actually have a Senate and a Congress.
Right. It's to build on the same
Which
order.
But you
should be making our decisions for our states. And then coming together as one combined
I
unit
mean,
to make a view.
They were
of what goes
never.
into it.
Congress was never meant to be full time.
No, no.
When it first.
No. John Adams was still working when the first Congress came together, when he was the vice president of the United States. They still had farms. George Washington still had a farm, tobacco farm. You name me all the first few presidents, they all still had houses. They all still had
Businesses,
jobs, businesses, and
None
these
of
were business owners.
But well, other than Trump, what are the other people who are in there have actually had? The Republicans actually have you. There's a lot more Republicans who are actually doctors and professional people.
But even
But that's
that, I
what
don't even
Democrats
think
do.
even a doctor and a lawyer's.
They're
They're
that's
not.
the problem.
They're like royalty too.
Yeah, they are.
That's the issue right there.
They're a different class.
That's the issue right there. You have tons. That's the problem. You have tons of lawyers because they go out there, they debate. Let me ask you this question: how many lawyers? And I've dealt with a lot of them through life. How many freaking lawyers do you actually trust to do anything in this world?
One, and we both.
Yeah.
But he's no longer with us.
Yeah, he's gone. But yeah, I mean,
I don't trust. I can tell you, out of 100 of them, I may trust one.
Yeah, because basically they're selfish. They'll take one, they'll make it a case on one one argument one time, and then turn around and use that same argument against that. They don't have any kind of moral stable ground. They can't.
They got to make
can't have any
money.
more stuff. They got to make money. Exactly.
It's all about money. It's all about
It's
status.
sophistry.
It's all
Well,
about.
I mean,
everything.
think about it. I mean, you can go to them and you have a case, but there's no money in it.
And they're going to take it, and they're going to run it against.
No, they're just not even going to take it because there's no money in it.
But the funny thing is all right. Let me throw one guy under the bus. A guy that ran for state, was going to go from state. I knew him. He was an attorney. He was my attorney at one time. Ran for state, and he had all this stuff. I went and met with him after he won, and I went and talked to him. And I swear to God, it was a totally different person that I had known before. I mean, he was always arrogant. And then I was
So he's nicer, or
he was nicer before. Once he won the house.
Oh, he had no time for you.
Oh God, no. But you know what? Here's the other
He's
thing.
busy with state business.
He's out. Look at me and look at all this other stuff. So then one day I was just taking a shower, coming out, and someone looked at me and goes, the person I was around working on different things, they're like, "You need to look at this." I looked up on my phone, and he had gone out and got caught having an affair or something. And what his whole thought was go ahead and tell him I was out with a gay prostitute. That was his whole thing. It was this whole thing. And he stood in the middle of the state capitol trying to fight the charges against him when everything was against him. My whole thought was this. Every attorney that I've known, they have broken the law 70 more times than you could ever imagine breaking the law, right? And every one of these guys are sitting in Congress. They've broken the laws more than you ever want to.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
you know that as much as I do. In Ohio State and DC, a lot of these guys that were congressmen and senators, these guys, all they are is crooks. And they're sitting there, they take money from them. I think one of the things is You want to turn this country a little bit around? The first thing you do is you get everybody across the country and you make one vote. And I think everybody would come unanimously with it. And it says this: if you are, except for the guys who are lobbyists, if these people take one penny or their families take a penny or anything gets in money in any way that these guys benefit some way from a lobbyist,
Okay, but who's going to
they
do
go to
that?
prison.
Who's going to
Yeah,
do?
who's gonna
Who's
enforce it?
going to enforce it?
Because the cops are
Who's
they go-
going to sit there and watch and
Who-
make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing?
the federal
Because
the
they're gonna-
FBI can't be trusted.
No, they're going
The
to be.
FBI.
The FBI just said the federal level. Let's face it, who they get the
We're
appropriations.
talking about. You're talking about the leadership of the FBI.
I don't trust. If they,
I know,
they
but-
don't trust
but-
the badge.
but
If they
John-
wear a badge, they're against you. Sorry, I don't
But
care.
the
On any
people
level,
in
they're
charge
not
of the
for
FBI right now
Right.
are not probably shouldn't be in charge of the
you. The
FBI.
FBI itself should never
No,
exist.
I mean some of the people that Joe Biden put forward, like the Secret Service person that was Kamala Harris's girlfriend or something like that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
See,
But what I'm saying is the people that are in charge right now shouldn't be in charge.
Well, I challenge it even further. I say that the federal agencies that we have, the FBI and all, should never existed. If you look at the Constitution, they should never allow that. That was expansion of the government by huge means. Okay, a huge budget, a bunch of like.
You want to save money for the government?
Huh?
Cut them.
What?
You want to save money for the government? Cut it.
Well, yeah, but okay.
Who's going to cut it?
The congressmen, senators are.
I mean, it's easy for the little people to say, come up with these great ideas, but
It's not that hard to cut it if you get the.
Who?
Who's going to?
There is a part in the Constitution that exists.
Okay,
at that point.
again, who's going to do it?
Yeah, our senators.
You gotta have.
You gotta, yeah.
So just like we all people
After January 20th, if the guy gets in that you really think should get in there, which we all think that needs to.
I don't think he's going to change. I don't think he can change it. I don't because I think it's so you don't have to worry about just the big wigs that are named up there. You have to look at the bureaucracy that's behind them. They go through generations.
It's
like
like
those people.
like
I know,
with the
it's
dock
not- I'm
workers.
not saying it's an easy
These
thing.
people have money. They can afford to wait 4 years.
You're talking about the dock workers?
I'm talking about the people that
Well,
are
I'm talking about- we're
behind
talking about
everything.
DC, I mean, yeah.
And you can call me conspiracy theorist if you want to.
Look,
The people that are in the know
Right.
they've been there so long, they can wait for Donald Trump. They can let him have a couple wins while
Why
he's in
did they?
there.
Okay. If
They
that's
can just
true,
undo, like Joe Biden undid almost
everything.
everything that Trump did.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
where we're at.
Well, I mean, they want to be there. They're making money hand over fist right now. I mean, do you really think that that this right here should be worth almost $2?
You mean the drinks we bought yesterday for $7?
yeah.
Do you
No.
think no?
No.
There's no way in hell. Even if it is a convenience, it shouldn't be that we had 3. They weren't even 20. They were like 16 ounce,
Right, 16 ounces. I mean,
and they were like double what you would pay at the grocery store.
see, what it is, we got so many people running our government who are just simply just payola. I mean, it's money on the table, and there's no accountability, and we have to answer to it. Even corporations got get the congressmen, senators here, not the small business people. So guess what? They make the law that actually benefits.
And then, but even okay, you're a small business person,
Right.
okay, you're not on the radar right now.
No.
But if you started making money, don't you think that some bigger business would say, "Oh, I like that. I'm going to make a product just like that, and I'm going to sell it for less than you're selling."
Or they're
You
going
do it all the time.
they're trying to get congressmen or senators to pass laws. It's going to
They're gonna put you out of business.
Just that people like you,
Because you're taking part of their profits.
right? So yeah.
No, there's people who do that. They still do it even at the point where we're at. Even
But what I'm saying is,
yeah,
that's what they
No,
do.
I do. I understand.
They either take you over by putting restrictions on you.
or just taxing the hell out of
They'll put the restrictions on you that won't bother them if they have to pay the same
you know
restriction.
what economies of scale, right?
Right.
Economies of scale, exactly what that is. When you're a larger fund, you actually derive benefit from stuff that, because of your size, you got the buying power. Like Walmart can simply buy mom and pop shops all around, get cheaper prices from their suppliers. Well, that's kind of a part of economies of scale. Well, when the federal government, when somebody say Hershey's, see you're up and coming, and they get really mad about it. They got all these congressmen, senators on their payroll saying, we don't like what this guy's doing up in Michigan. Why don't you pass more legislation? You know what he does? He gets away with doing this. We want to make sure that's eliminated. So he has to be put out of business or step up and get more loans and get onto credit line.
Or put
to overcome
restrictions
it.
on him
Yeah.
that I'll gladly pay the restriction
Right.
fees that I know that you
You can't
can't
handle.
pay just to put you out of business.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. We've done that before. It's gone. We've had to go through the knockouts.
See, that's what we not see. The thing is, it's across the board. I mean, I don't trust anybody who's been in office more than one. Like you said, that person you knew went into one term. I knew a person who was
He didn't even make it 6 months.
So one person was running for city council here in Flint. She was a woman, 23, 25 years married to the same guy. As soon as she went into office, she started hanging hobnobbing with the political types. She left her husband. She got a younger boyfriend. She had to get a settlement from her husband. And then she gave that over to her boyfriend for investment, some lame business idea that he had, and it went bankrupt and all this stuff. She didn't even win the election. And she was all the people she had just met at the sphere of influence of politics, and
well, that's the thing. The sphere of influence is the biggest problem.
Right, it's a vortex. It's like it sucks everybody. It sucks.
And plus, you're all in that little bubble, and you're all thinking the same thing.
The echo chamber or whatever.
Yeah.
So it goes up to the thing we talked about the other day, that when you and I when we were all talking about that Sean Combs thing, and you said, "Hey, does that really matter?" And we were all talking about it. Guess what?
Kamala Harris is involved.
She is.
To her brother-in-law.
I guarantee you nothing will happen. Maybe they'll put Sean Combs away, but nobody else after the rest of them. No.
Well, he'll be on the live soon.
No, he'll realize, and he might feel remorse and then do something to himself. But I mean, they make it look like
he's in so deep, he can't. I mean, but to think about it,
it was funny because
he didn't do it by himself. They did it to him.
It was funny because when the conversation you were talking about, remember the one big interview that Kamala did?
Mm-hmm.
She did it with Oprah, remember?
Yes.
And remember we were talking about that, and you said, "Hey, somebody from the past, she's not even relevant anymore." And then I started watching this, and I'm looking at all these different things. Sean Combs is really close to
Oprah. Yep.
Very, very close, all throughout these years, and been at these freak parties. Well, then I'm starting doing some research yesterday, just last night, because I couldn't sleep. I was just reviewing different things. Tons of divorce attorneys are being contacted right now by a lot of different people's spouses. And Ashton Kutcher is going through the separations, divorces.
And you think those are related to this?
Very much.
Well, yeah, because
things are coming out.
Things are coming out on the different things, and they're saying that these are the different pipes. Then I was doing another part of watching it, and I was watching this one guy. He was talking about. He's like,
talking about what?
He was talking about the Sean Combs thing. He said, "Listen." And he was talking to a group of. He was a black guy.
Okay, but what was he talking about?
I'm going to tell you. And it's a Trump thing. You go all a million different places, come back to one spot. He was saying, "Listen, guys, there's something coming on really big that they don't want you to see because
this was before it happened, or
yes." Then he said, then when they arrested Sean Combs, he's like, "There is a problem going on, and it's going to break free." And then yesterday, there's all these different reports coming out. And all these,
I don't understand what you're saying.
All these freak parties that they had, so freak off parties that Sean Combs had. Now they're coming out. He's just putting the whole list together. All the different politicians.
Who is
all the Sean Combs is releasing the different people of all the politicians, all the actors, all the royalty, Prince Harry.
Who is he releasing it to? I haven't seen anything.
You didn't see these things come out on TikTok?
I haven't seen any list.
It's all coming out because they were showing.
Okay, so long story short, you're saying that he's releasing
somehow
everything that he knows
to now all these different people are coming out. So now they're saying, "Hey, you know what? Here's Prince Harry." He's like, "I don't understand America. I don't understand how you guys are all." And everyone's like,
"Who's saying that?"
It was Prince Harry when he came over. He's like Prince Harry. When he came over.
Who's he?
That little redhead guy that was married to Meghan Markle.
They're still married.
Okay, I think we're getting
here's
in the weeds right now.
We're in the weeds, but I'm gonna come back out of the weeds.
Well, hurry up.
Pull out of the weeds to get some content. Here's the thing. Prince Harry's the problem, sitting there saying, "Hey, look at you guys. I don't understand America. All sorts of stuff. He's high moral ground." Comes in this one viewpoint. Now they're finding out all these different parties are having freak off parties. Guess who's
he was there, of course. Okay,
he's one of the main attenders of all these different things. The Einstein, guess what? The Weinstein one. So was the other. Who was that?
I don't know.
Brother. So you've got all these royal guys who are coming to all these freak parties over in America watching what's going on. And
okay, so how does that affect us?
Well, it affects it because basically there's watch what's going on over here, and then you're going to see nothing that's going on.
Well, all they need to do is just let you explain it, and then nobody will know what you're talking about.
No. What I'm going to say is, Oprah already had a connection to Weinstein, Harvey Weinstein. She's seen pictures of them and introducing the people. So, I mean, all these people are in bed together, literally. Okay, we're not saying exaggerative.
Yeah, and you start looking at the connections, and that's why I was watching this guy, and he's just showing all the different connections of all the different things.
And they're scumbags. So
and it's the same different people that keep coming up to the surface every single time. And that's where I was going with it. But it takes a little more than 30 seconds.
But what I'm saying, I would say though, is see, we're going back to the point Steve and I were making. Who are you going to get them to change the laws and stuff? Because every politician and all these people are tied together. They say, if you do this, I'm gonna tell them what you did. I got pictures, I got audio, but I got video recording. So we're all they connected to our politicians. They corrupted our entire system because they're so tied together. It's incestuous as hell.
How do you untie?
What does that say? It took 5 minutes for a guy to explain a 30-second. One of the comments.
Oh, somebody comment? Okay, I didn't know we were commenting. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm not going to charge you for that, but I just see what angers me.
No, I got it. It was my bad.
But I'm angry about it because it does affect our political scene. I mean, these entertainment people are tied too damn well to our political system. They should be just entertainers. Why do we take anything they do, or why do we want to?
I don't think we do. I don't think the TikTokers do anymore.
No, not TikTokers. That's the reason why our government wants to ban that. Because my God, you're actually going to have an outlet for something else. You got we pay billions of dollars to obtain this. You can't have any options
because the boob tube media or whatever you want to call them can't keep up with current like TikTok and YouTube.
Because people are not getting information.
Because they're reporting news.
Well, look at the SOB. John Kerry wants to, he wants to change the First Amendment.
Because it's an obstacle. He said it was an obstacle.
It's an obstacle.
The First Amendment.
Yes, free speech, because what he says is it's too hard for them to get their point across or through the noise.
Well, if they actually
because people disagree with them.
John Kerry.
Yeah, John Kerry. If you son of a bitch has actually stood up to the microphone and actually addressed American people instead of doing anything on the sly, under the table, and undercover, you know what? We might have more respect for you. But everything you do for us is against us, and everything you do is in the dark. You keep us like mushrooms. You grow in shit and in the dark.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They think the ruling class thinks that you only need to know this, and you should be happy that I even told you that much.
Well, when you get news blurbs, popping up on my my iPad at home, it says here something happened. Here's what you should know. How the fuck are you going to tell me what
I like the thing American people. What do you think about that? When they say the American people,
yeah.
Who are the American people? I mean,
not everybody.
No,
not
the American people.
American people is what they make up in their head.
Yeah, it's like no. We got this in your image what you are, and you got to now. Don't you want to hear our vision of you so you can actually emulate it? No,
it's a 21-year-old. And it's a 23-year-old person sitting there that just came out of college, an Ivy League school, or something, and they're telling everyone they write this damn little thing. They hand it to you. You go stand on the floor of the freaking Senate and you say what you want to say and you get down and that's it. That's
what you talked about Prince Harry. You got that information from TikTok.
Yes.
Yep.
99%.
And you got more. You got better news, and plus he had everything written out for you to look at through his slides.
No, actually, he started there. Then once you take.
But what I'm saying is, you got faster, better news through TikTok than the media.
At least starts me in a spot where I want to go start looking for the information.
Right.
And then
they can't keep up.
Well, it's like that's why everybody hates anybody out there with a camera. Like you hear all the cop auditors. Everybody's like, why don't you have people posting? Oh, they're just wasting their time. And all. No, they're not. If cops are failing at this level, they're going to fail at a more crucial level. Our government's going to. We have people. They give us a script they want us to have to agree to. I mean, why are they the ones dictating our reality? They can.
But my argument is because of this phone right here. They can't anymore. They can't control the narrative.
No,
and that's what they're so upset about because they want to talk about this one thing and keep this in the news. But you on this phone, you got access to
your phones now have access to every type of information you need.
Yeah,
at a second's notice.
You can just look it up. You can. I mean, just like the stupid things that they were saying during the debate when they didn't want to give JD Vance a second to talk about that app. There was a guy who actually went on the app. It told him what bridge to meet under, when he was going to be picked up and how he was going to get into the United States. And then it also set up travel for he wanted to go to California. It was in the app. It told him what time to be under the certain bridge in Mexico to get into the United States. And then from there, it told him how to get to by bus to the airport to go to California.
And they can't do anything about this legally.
Back that up to the main street or the boob tube media.
Yeah.
So my question is on that one is if you don't know the hell you're talking about, then why are you even having a job in this? Why is the mainstream media still trying to push this down?
Because they're not the mainstream. They're the puppets for the people that own them.
Right.
And who owns them, in your opinion?
The same people that say a man can compete against women because he feels like a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you heard there's I think it's a volleyball team in California that has a male playing as a woman, and everybody's forfeiting against that team.
Wasn't he the one that knocked the girl out because he said?
I don't know if it was the same one, but what I'm saying is they're standing out. They're refusing to play that team. They're taking a loss or a forfeit for the game rather than play a man.
Would you? I mean, no, honestly, if your daughter, if you have a daughter,
I'm happy that they're doing it. And why is it that the women are the ones that have the balls?
Where are the dads? That's what I want to know. Where are the dads?
Well, they've been.
Well, we're the same thing.
They've been
okay,
but my question is, where the dads? No,
you just had a Supreme Court justice that said she couldn't tell what a man or a woman was because she's not a biologist.
Oh,
it's the same people, the same dorks in Washington.
I know you do basketball, but I knew one thing through high school. If you have one thing down there, that's one thing.
Yeah, I had biology too. I think everybody had to take biology.
Yeah, that's it. And science, basic science.
But what I'm saying is the people in charge.
So if you are a Supreme Court justice, you don't know that. You don't need to be.
And she's there.
Well, I guess.
And they're so proud because she's the first Black woman.
Can we stop being the first? Maybe
I guess she might be a lesbian too. I don't know.
Can we stop this? What? I want to stop it.
What, the first whatever?
Yeah, first whatever's. All right, because we had the first Walking Dead too. So, but here's the problem. One of the things I don't understand is where are the dads sticking up and saying, if you even think you're going to
because they're going to get
and we're
because they can't because they're a man, they can't speak about a woman's issue.
What?
You didn't know that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know.
You're not allowed to talk about women's issues.
Oh, heck, I have every right to talk about my daughter's issues.
No, because she can go to school and say that you're talking about her, and then she can
get a bunch
taken away from you.
Yep. Oh, but I think we should go back to something
she's young enough.
We should go to something really serious that's on this list. The pumpkin spice crisis, man. I'm in the heat wave. I mean, that's we got to address that. I mean,
could you imagine being in a heat wave, going into a coffee shop and getting boiling hot coffee?
Yeah, it's like
no.
But I mean, it's and I always thought I know they joke about that's a white woman thing. It really is. I mean, that's something.
Do you like it?
What?
It's pumpkin spice? I don't really care about it. No.
I mean, I like pumpkin pie. I
ever had pumpkin spice? Have you ever had pumpkin spice?
Yeah, I haven't.
Did you like it?
No.
I don't like
flavored coffees.
Could
you even taste it?
Yeah, because I bought it and I poured it in there myself, the creamer.
But to me, coffee is a flavor. When I go to like a coffee shop, would you want any flavors? To me, coffee is a flavor.
If it's made right,
yeah, you can actually roast a coffee too. And I'm not gonna for this guy to help you get this right point.
Did you
for 5 seconds?
Somebody made a.
I will get right to the point. Here it goes. Ready? When you roast the coffee beans, you can actually roast a coffee bean.
But you already talked about it. That you don't burn them.
We got to burn them. We got
McDonald's burns them.
We got to cover that someday. I'd like to, video record, the roasting coffee. I'd like to see that done myself. I've seen it, but
actually, is it really roasting or
baking?
Is it baking?
You can do
because you put it in the oven, right?
Some guys can put it. No, you roast it.
You can dry them out in the oven, can't
you? You could. Some people do that. But what you really can do, what you're really doing is you're actually taking it and you're heating it.
To me, roasting is when you put it in a pan and hold it over a fire.
Well, no, it comes in a hot fire over 600 degrees.
Oh.
And it shoots it up in a hot air and it just beats against metal.
So how do you know when
you're done? Chef, I do it because I can hear by the crack.
They do crack.
It does crack. There's a it does crack.
It
You do crack.
does crack, cracks. He didn't get that at first.
Yeah, I do the crack.
Is there a smell too?
Yeah.
Coffee is my crack.
When you burn it, there's a real bad smell. But it smells like popcorn.
Now, where do you get your beans?
You can run all across.
Does it matter?
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah, it does.
because you hear about these beans were grown in
No, it doesn't.
volcano ash.
No, I will tell you that does matter.
I know Kona. I love Kona.
Volcano ashes. If you can get a bean that comes over where a volcano
the
comes
lava.
down, the lava comes in because of where it protects it well enough that basically it will seep through the fruit, and it is a seed that comes around the fruit. But the one that the prestigious people you guys keep talking about, what they really want is they want the ones that go in and let monkeys and
it goes through the
monkeys eat it.
system.
They get it, they shit, and then they go clean it a little bit. They go through and they roast it. You know what? I will never do that. I will never roast that. I'll never sell it.
You like Kona?
No, I do like Kona. I mean, but it's expensive. But yeah, I like it.
What about you?
Oh, I like Kona. I like Kum. And
Like, can you actually? I can taste the difference.
Yeah,
I can tell you it's Kona.
I was at one place. Somebody said, "Hey, this is Kona. This is from Hawaii, right?" So he made it up, and it was pretty good. And a few years ago, some friend of mine from the Philippines sent me coffee that was grown in the Philippines, and that
it's the same.
Yeah, same kind
of same climate, same temperature.
It's the climate. It is the climate, and you just got to know which climate it is, and who's actually what farm is. You just kind of do that. I'm not that big free. I'm just going to get me really pissed off, and a lot of people might get pissed off at me about the free trade thing.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the organic, I don't get into all that. I do sell organic, but I'll be honest with you. If you want to buy the organic, that's on to you, but you're just paying for the price. You're just paying for a name.
It is hard to be organic.
Did you
really?
Did you ever go to that cafe? It was right down in downtown Ann Arbor, right on the camp near the edge of campus. Cafe Royale. Did you ever go down there?
Yeah,
that was a nice place.
It was good.
That was good coffee. I guess they succumbed to the pandemic. The business did.
But I never.
It's hard. We went under.
But I never understood Starbucks because the first time I had that
tastes burnt.
Oh, it tastes so burnt. And then McDonald's, I used to love. Well, I guess I did love it.
Look at
their original coffee, and then when they switched over to their McCafe, it tasted burnt to me too.
You can see you know it's burnt when you walk into Starbucks. Look at their hoppers.
Yeah,
when they do it, every one of them is really dark, and you can see it because it's very oily.
Mm-hmm.
If you see the oil, you know it's really, really.
What's the other one? Because I like their coffee, the one with the bee on it.
Bigsby.
Yes,
Bigsby's
good. Bigsby's here in Michigan.
Right.
Yeah,
it's all based in. Yep. Another one I liked is the I like the Java time. It comes.
And I like Tim Hortons too. Some people don't.
Tim's good.
Yeah, it's like I buy it over at Big Lots.
I would never buy Starbucks.
I never.
No, I only had it one time, and that was
my daughter tries to do it.
And then I accidentally called a medium coffee.
Oh,
they corrected me on it. I think what is it? And I think
it?
they're even backwards on their sizes. The Venti, a Grande and Venti. I think they're even backwards on their sizes too.
I love and this is why I don't want to do ever a coffee shop ever again, because you always get these people that'll come in and go, I want this and I want Avante and I need hot flavors, this of it, and I need soy milk and almond milk, and then they need to be pressed like something. Where the hell did you get your coffee from? And they're like, oh, we just need it. And it's like, God, just do me a favor, walk out, please.
Because real coffee drinkers,
it's
want black coffee,
black, and get a little bit of cream if you need it.
Yeah,
that's what it's Americano.
I drink mine with cream. I don't use sugar.
I do make a coffee that I wish we could sell out everywhere, and it's called a coffee tea. But the hard part is you have to actually put that in a French press. And I'll tell you why I like it is because we make it with curry, turmeric, green tea, oolong tea.
You know what? I'm gonna get a French press and I'm gonna bring it in here. And you're gonna make some for us while we're doing the show.
We could do
that, and
not as a demonstration, just for us.
But it's a very earthly. Now and I can't drink it plain. I have to drink it with a lot of creamer. But I will tell you this: I made it when my sister first got diagnosed with cancer. I made it when my mom started getting sick, and I made
for the turmeric.
For the turmeric,
yeah.
And I tell you what, honestly, what it does is it goes onto the top of your brain. And the turmeric's got a very good quality. What it does, it goes onto your brains, into your brain, and it actually goes on the cells of the brains, and it bleeds, and it starves the fogs, the things that get on your brain and clubs out of your brain, which makes you foggy, and it actually releases it. And after about 30 days, if you
But
drink this, you actually now I will
and
tell
you
you to
think
go to the bathroom a lot.
you can get it from just drinking the coffee?
You drink this, and it actually helps you get a little bit more clarity. It actually helps you. It actually, for us, it actually made me lose weight. It brought my blood sugar down. It did a lot for me.
I mean,
And
I've tried. Have you ever done turmeric?
Oh yeah,
Do you like it?
Yeah,
Because it tastes.
I can't do
It
turmeric on
doesn't
my
taste
own.
good to me.
I take turmeric and I take ginger and I take turmeric and ginger and make a tea out of that. That's what I chop those two up together.
Right.
And it's a pleasant taste, and because of ginger, and then I love it. That I mean, just it's got to be fresh, turmeric and fresh ginger. I mean,
Right.
chopped up real fine and poured hot water poured over it, and it's really good.
We just take a commercial turmeric. We
Mm.
don't do the, but there's fresh ones. But yeah, there's so many different things you can do with coffee and teas that people do. And so we are coming out with new products. I didn't forget to tell you this
What?
on the way over. We are coming out with new products, and so hopefully in the next few days, I want you guys to try them. But we are coming out with a cherry bite that we are trying. So we should be having that hopefully within a week or two. A mint bite,
A what?
a thin mint bite.
Okay.
Like the Girl Scout thin mints.
Mhm.
We're actually coming out with that in a bite, which so
When you say bite, what is that?
those little bites that I gave you,
Yeah.
those little chocolates.
Oh, okay.
Those are called bites, and then we're coming out with the candy bars like that as well.
That's it. Me, the chocolate's remarkable.
my God.
It's from.
And then the other side is one of the things that I was telling Steve this today. So here's a shout out. We actually did, and everything coming out. We did get an ability to actually now distribute with Blair's Candy from Pennsylvania,
Cool.
and I am so happy about that one because we're actually be able to get a lot of stuff from Pennsylvania, all across the country, all across, and bring all that candy back to Michigan when we ever traveling. I'm looking forward to it.
That'd be
Local
good.
Coles and stuff like that. So
I think like what I was going to suggest is sometime when you're going up, like you see some processing going on at the places you're picking up your supplies at, and they get the agreement to record it. If they don't have any opposition, bring that back, and we could play some of the footage of that too.
actually, yeah, I can bring that video.
Yeah, because that'd be kind of interesting. Because I like to chop it up a bit. Because I mean, I'm always impressed. I mean, I always like, the food industry. My mom's mother was a confectionery chef and stuff. So I have an interest in all that stuff.
I'll tell you what, the people that actually run this stuff behind the scenes with us, and I don't do it anymore. I can't. Uh, those three women are dynamite: Julie, Sharon, and Sandy. And then Caitlin comes
They're
in.
the
with
ones that make the candy.
They're the ones that make the candy.
We like
You
candy.
don't?
I don't.
I don't.
No.
I don't have the respect for you that I had.
No, actually, to
before.
be honest with you, because of
I
health
thought you were
reasons,
the candy man.
because of the health reasons, like I can't get in there as much. But Caitlin does the nuts. Now we're coming out with pretzels in about 2-3 weeks. I go in there.
Not by choice.
No, we have 300 pounds of pretzels. We have to figure out what to do with. But no, and then
perfect for Christmas.
Yeah.
we gotta.
All you got to do is put white chocolate and some sprinkles on them.
That's what it's gonna look like. So yeah.
It's like, but anyway, well, let's say I think the chocolate thing is interesting. I mean, I enjoy that kind of stuff. You mean,
Chocolate's great. I'll tell you what, Linnaeus is one of my favorite chocolate companies I ever go to.
is that like a supplier?
It's a supplier I go to down in Ohio. They're one of the nicest guys.
It's real chocolate, not
It's real chocolate.
Walmart chocolate.
Oh God, no.
That's good.
And now, can you tell? How can you tell? Not
You
me.
can so like if I go buy a Reese's peanut butter cup, I can tell the difference between
right.
our
But
chocolate and that kind of chocolate. If I go in and buy like a dollar store chocolate,
but I'm talking about your chocolate. What makes it so different than store bought chocolate? I mean,
all right. Well, no, I can tell you what. So you and I were talking on the way over, and you asked me in the car, "Do I actually like chocolate beans?" And I told you I can't stand them.
No, chocolate covered coffee beans.
Yeah, I can't stand them. I will never eat them. The day I die, I will never eat them.
Because you pay for it, but you pay for it though. It tastes good for a second,
look like a
and
redneck.
all that crunch.
But you look like a redneck. I mean, honestly, it sticks everywhere. You break into your teeth.
But it tastes good for a second.
Yeah, and then it's like all you do is, and
then you got that shell.
So the difference between that and ours is it's very creamy. It's very, and then the best part about our product is that it's always in.
And who are you again?
Our Town Snacks. That's the product line. If 2K, yeah, Our Town Snacks, OurTownSnacks.com is where you
R, the letter R,
just a regular R,
townsnacks.com.
And the reason why Our Town Snacks comes to it is not because it's Republican. But when I was growing up, one of my favorite shows to ever watch was Our Town, the play.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was a play on words, like, oh, you
Yeah, it was OUR. It was
Everybody-
our town.
Fort Wilder's play.
Yeah.
Yeah, our town. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, that's like
It was
every
just
high
a
school.
really cool, good high school play. They
Yeah.
did it on Broadway, but they put it out on TV, and it was one of my favorite shows. All right, talking about that, what was your favorite all-time show? We never talk about anything except for how bad the politics
MASH
are.
is my
mine.
MASH is
Your
always
MASH?
MASH is my favorite of all
All time?
time. Yeah.
What was yours?
Batman, the animated series.
Oh, which one? There's the multiple ones. Which one did you like?
Any one of them.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, it's like but I did like Batman when I was a kid, but I always liked the reason why I liked the Batcave and that thing, sitting on the desk, the bus, they push it aside and they had the button to open up the bookshelves to slide down the pole into the Batcave. That was cool.
Mine was Mine was Hard Rock McCaskey.
Hard Rock
Hardcastle
Hardcastle
McCormick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hardcastle.
That
Yeah.
was my favorite.
You might as well say the $6 million man while you're
That
at
was
it.
Brian Keith,
Or
wasn't it?
Starsky and Hutch.
Wasn't that Brian
You're
Keith in
old.
there?
Huh?
Was that Brian Keith or who
Yeah.
else? Yeah, Brian Keith. Yeah.
You never saw that one?
No, I know what it is.
That was my favorite. I love that guy.
See, another one I liked.
I like that old man. I thought he was funny.
I liked Vegas, like Spencer for Hire, and I liked
Spencer for Her was good, and
Yeah.
Vegas was good.
Vegas was good. Robert, you're a great actor. You just
Very
seem like a
good.
likable guy. And but MASH was my favorite because it was kind of from a leftist perspective, but I mean, then my dad liked it because he was a Korean War veteran. That was the only thing you ever heard about from the Korean War is MASH. You didn't have
Right.
lots of movies that came out but talking about the Korean War. Not back when he was still alive, anyway.
But Quincy was my
That was a
all-time
great
favorite,
one.
if I really have to think about it. And then
Quincy
The
was good.
Odd Couple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jack Klugman was a great actor. And I mean, he played in that silly stuff, that silly sitcom, which was good. I mean, Odd Couple was very well. Neil Simon's, he did that in series. And then, then he also was in that Quincy and that all the other CSI shows. I mean, he was on
Yeah,
CSI
because he made
shows.
appearance on
Yeah.
a couple of them, I think.
Yeah.
And
I
So
know
NCIS
in
was
Vegas, set in
Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah, the Vegas one.
NCIS was my favorite, and Jag. Those are my two go-to.
Yeah, those are pretty good. It's actually they're the ones that actually the producer behind that, I believe, are the one who was actually responsible for Magnum PI
Right.
back in the 70s.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was the same. I guess he's
Now
actually
they're coming out with one called NCIS Original, and they're
really?
going back on, I think, Leroy Gibbs or something like that. I kind of want to see that one.
The
Yeah.
first guy
yeah
with the curly hair. And-
No, Leroy
with Leroy
Gibbs.
yeah, what was his
When
name?
he's younger.
Jethro Leroy Gibbs. Yeah.
Oh, they're
Mark
gonna
Harmon.
they're
They're
going
gonna go
back
back to when he was
to a
younger.
pre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
When it was going to be.
I actually like it. I
I liked it when it first came out, CSI, and then it sort of got sillier
Yeah.
when they got more money.
You're thinking CSI.
CSI.
And there's the NCIS, which is
NCIS.
Oh,
and
and CI.
Yeah.
did you ever see that one?
Yeah.
yeah,
'Cause,
that's
I mean,
a good,
that was an
With
indie.
the I forget what her name is, who was the original forensic lady.
Abby.
Paulette or something.
Abby,
Abby.
the
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah.
You know what? She came out and said she doesn't ever want to act again in her life.
Yeah, Paulie. God, was her name? Paulie.
Paulette or something.
Yeah, Paul. You know what? She actually used to talk to my sister on one of like the social media sites. My sister didn't believe it was her, and it really was her. She actually reached out to my sister and started talking to her. So
Have you watched Tulsa King? You ever seen
Yes.
that looks good. That really,
It
That
is
really
good.
is good. That really is good.
yeah, that looks really good. So I'm gonna.
I mean, it's a little hokey, but
I think.
That
It's
was
kind
good
of-
though.
I mean the storyline's a little hokey.
Oh, see, did you guys like The Sopranos though?
Yeah.
I love The Sopranos. I
I
didn't
mean, you can
watch it.
still watch it. It's timeless.
I know it's like it's
No, it is.
It is.
Well, did you ever? No, David Chase, he the one that did that series, actually used to produce Rockford Files, and he did a lot of episodes of Rockford Files. And
Oh,
you
I
could
forgot.
tell-
That's another one.
Yeah, the Rockford Files. That was a great TV series because it was low key. He was a bumbler. He was a decent guy, but he was always caught in the middle. He was a loser because he didn't ever make too much money on it.
No.
But I loved the series. That was a great series.
Yeah,
It's-
he blew out his knees in that.
yeah, that was just James Garner was a great actor in that one. That fit him perfectly, that role.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, yeah, that was the best.
Yeah.
I like the Rockford Files.
it was
Rockford turnaround.
yeah, Rockfish. Remember that Isaac Hayes was used to do that? Rockfish. He used to call him Rockfish. So that was a
Alright.
good show. So anyway.